Flak towers were complexes of large, above-ground anti-aircraft gun blockhouse towers constructed by Nazi Germany in the cities of Berlin, Hamburg and Vienna from 1940. The towers were operated by the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force, to defend against Allied strategic air raids against these cities during World War II. They also served as air raid shelters for tens of thousands of local civilians. After the Royal Air Force raid on Berlin in 1940, Adolf Hitler ordered the construction of 3 massive Flak towers to defend the capital from air attacks. Each tower had a radar installation with a radar dish which could be retracted behind a steel dome for protection. They were constructed in 6 months. The priority of this project was such that the German national rail schedule was altered to facilitate the shipment of concrete, steel and timber to the construction sites. With concrete walls up to 3.5 meters thick, Flak towers were considered by their designers to be invulnerable to attack by standard ordnance carried by Royal Air Force heavy bombers at the time of their construction. The towers were able to sustain a rate of fire of 8,000 rounds per minute from their multi-level guns with a range of up to 14 kilometers in a 360 degree of field of fire. Each Flak tower complex consisted of a G tower, a combat tower, also known as the gun tower, and an L tower, a lead tower, also known as the fire control tower. There were 3 different designs. The Flak towers had also been designed with the idea of using the above-ground bunkers as a civilian shelter with a room for 10,000 civilians and a hospital ward inside. During the Battle of Berlin, occupants formed their own communities with up to 30,000 Berliners taking refuge in one tower during the battle. These towers, much like the keeps of medieval castles, were some of the safest places in a fought-over city, and so the Flak towers were some of the last places to surrender to the Red Army, eventually being forced to capitulate as supplies dwindled. The Soviets, in their assault on Berlin, found it difficult to inflict significant damage on the Flak towers, even with some of their largest Soviet guns, such as the 203 mm howitzers. Soviet forces generally maneuvered around the towers and eventually sent in envoys to seek their surrender. Unlike much of Berlin, the towers tended to be fully stocked with ammunition and supplies, and the defenders used 2 cm Flak cannon to defend against assault by ground units. The Zoo Tower was one of the last points of defense, with German armored units rallying near at the zoo before trying to break out of the encircled Soviet Red Army. After the war, the demolition of the towers were often considered not feasible, and many remain to this day, with some having been converted for alternative use. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and support my channel on PayPal. Details in the description box.